Okay, now we're going to move on to the NBA and to our beloved New York Knickerbockers. Okay, excuse me. Now, the Knicks last season, we know that that was a season where, for just the second time in 23 seasons, they won a playoff series. So, a lot to build on, hopefully. Now, the last time the Knicks won a playoff series, all right, the only other time in the last 23 years that they won a playoff series, the following season, they did not even make the playoffs, all right? And that was, okay, there's no need for me to even say the word, all right? That begins with a D, ends with a R, okay? And in the middle is SAS, okay? That season was, I called it the most disappointing season in Knicks history because they went from winning their first playoff series since 2000, and they won their most games in a season since 97, okay? And they clinched the division for the first time in a whole lot of years, and they were the number 2 overall seed in the 2012-2013 season. They finished with the second best record in the Eastern Conference. So you figure, okay, second best record in the Eastern Conference. The following season, the Knicks, dare I say, could compete for a championship. It's only been since 1973, okay? And I remember that 2012-2013 season, okay? They celebrated the 40-year anniversary of the Knicks' last championship, and they had the whole team there, okay? The building gave everybody in attendance replica 1973 championship rings. It was amazing. And the Knicks, like I said, that was actually one of their good seasons in the last 23 years, okay? And so it was a good vibes and everything, all right? And this past season, I was also there for the 50-year anniversary of that championship team. And so then that following 2013-14 season, the Knicks lose every home game in November, all right, to start the season, and it was just a mess. But so anyway, so let's hope that the Knicks don't follow up that what they did 10 years ago. The only other time they won a playoff series since 2000. Let's hope that they don't repeat and have another disappointing season after winning a playoff series. And I don't think they will. This is a much different team with true leaders and guys who are legit gamers, okay? Not fraud stars. Now, the Knicks have played 3 games so far. They opened at home against Boston, and we saw our old friend, Kristaps Porzingis, the number 4 overall draft pick in the 2015 NBA draft, and a lot of people thought that Porzingis was going to be the Knicks franchise player for over a decade. In just his 3rd season, he made the All-Star team with the Knicks. And he was named to the All-Star team in early February. And right before the All-Star game even was played, Porzingis at the Garden was being guarded by the Greek freak Giannis, all right, a 2-time MVP award winner. Kristaps took him to the hole and dunked on him. Boom. And Giannis bumped Porzingis as Porzingis was dunking on him, and Porzingis took a hard fall to the floor, and guess what? He tore his knee, and he would not play for the Knicks again, okay? He was out for the remainder of that season. The following season, he was out that whole year, and before that season finished at the trade deadline, in a year where he was not playing at all, the Knicks traded him to Dallas. And now he's in Boston, and in his Boston Celtic debut, he set a record for the most points scored for anybody in a Boston Celtics debut. He had 30 points, had 5 blocks, 8 boards, and along with Jason Tatum and all right, their other big time player, Jaylen Brown, the Celtics beat the Knicks in the home opener in the season opener on Wednesday night at the Garden. Knicks played very tough, very well. They blew the game. No, they were up by like 7 points with about 4 minutes to go. Blew the game. Then they came out on Friday night in Atlanta, and every time they play Atlanta, it always seems like it's a very intense, high-spirited game because we know there are a lot of New Yorkers who are in Atlanta, it seems like, and every time Knicks are there, there's always a lot of energy in the building. It always seems like it's a very fast-paced, high-scoring game. So Knicks went into Atlanta where they lost to the Atlanta Hawks in the playoffs in 2021, the spring of 2021. And the Knicks on Friday night against a very good Atlanta Hawk team, Knicks took care of business and beat them. But the schedule makers did not do the Knicks any favors by giving them a back-to-back and making the next game, which was last night, against the guy I just told you was my favorite player to watch right now, Zion Williamson, and a very good New Orleans Pelicans team when he is in the mix playing because they have lots of talent outside of him, but with him in the middle, number one, they can be as good as they want to be. And the Pelicans and Zion were too much for the Knicks last night. Big boy Zion, all right? And what I love about Zion is he is so efficient, okay? You hear a lot of players where they score, but, okay, then they score, but how many points? I mean, how many shots are they taking? How many shots does it take them to score 30 points? What, 30? More than 30? Well, if that's the case, he's not very good, all right? But Zion Williamson, he is so efficient, okay? He can score a lot of points without taking a lot of shots. He does not miss many shots, okay? And last night, I'm going to tell y'all, Zion shot 70% from the field last night, okay, folks? And I told you before, his shooting efficiency is as high as anyone you want to see right now in the league. No one scored as much as him and shoots as efficiently. And Zion for the game last night, he took. I just want to give you all this note real quick. Zion took 17 shots last night, okay, and he missed 5 shots in the first quarter, I think, or he missed 5 shots in the first quarter. Might have been in the first half, but he missed. I think he missed 5 shots in the first quarter. The rest of the way, he was 10 for 10, okay, 10 for 10, and he finished 12 for 17 from the field. All right, 24 points. 5 boards, 2 assists. Brandon Ingram, his teammate, was 11 of 17 from the field, okay? 7 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal. 5 turnovers, though. Zion had 0 turnovers. And for the Knicks last night, R.J. Barrett has played well early on. He was 7 of 16 from the field. You would like to see more efficiency, all right? 7 of 16 is okay. It's not great. It's not 50%. At the least, you want to see somebody shoot 50%. All right, like that's good. Okay, all right, that's very good actually. All right, and Julius Randle, he has gotten off to a little bit of a sluggish start shooting the ball. He was just 4 of 15. He had 10 points, and Jalen Brunson shot 4 for 14. He was really on fire on Friday night against Atlanta. He made 8 threes. And the opener, he had a rough shooting night, and last night he did as well, 4 of 14. So the Knicks, though, the next 2 games are against the team who they played in the playoff last year in the first round and beat. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they are at Cleveland on Tuesday night, and then on Wednesday night they host Cleveland at the Garden. Then I believe next Friday I think they might travel to Milwaukee. So tough early schedule for the Knicks, but they are playing well. You know, they've lost 2 of the first 3, but as we said, last night was a tough back-to-back against New Orleans on the road, and you know they've been competitive, so they look to be like a team that is going to have a good year. But as I wanted to point out, that the Knicks over the last 23 years, they really have not had back-to-back good seasons. Okay, so even though they had a good year last year, and a lot of people expect them to be good this year, okay, I always caution myself every year. Okay, all right, since the Ewing years have been over, there's been several teams over the last 23 years on paper before the year started had a lot of talent, and I looked at it, and other folks looked at it like the Knicks are going to be a good team this year, and then the season starts, and the Knicks end up being horrible, okay? So hopefully this is not one of those seasons, okay? Again, over the last 23 years, they really have not had back-to-back good seasons, okay? All right? There was 3 years, all right, from 2011, 2012, 2013, where they made the playoffs those 3 straight years, but that 2012 season, which was a lockout shortened season, the Knicks really struggled most of that year, all right? They began the year 8-15, okay? And then that's when Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire, they both left the lineup for different reasons. And what happened? Jeremy Lin Sanity, he came and saved the Knicks season, all right? He brought them back to 500, okay? Brought life back to the team. Brought life to the entire city. Brought life to the entire city, okay? But that really wasn't a good season. I mean, they ended up turning it around. I mean, then Carmelo came back and started losing again, and Mike D'Antoni, the head coach, got fired, and Mike Woodson came in, broke his foot off in everybody's butt, and the Knicks finished that season, I believe, 18-6, okay? And then he took a first-round exit in the playoffs to Miami and LeBron. I don't even want to, all right, remember that disappointment again, okay? But, so let's see if the Knicks can have back-to-back good seasons, all right?